Why, hello there, my fellow overtime workers. Rhadamant here. Thank you for tuning in to Abiotic Factor, Episode 3, Couch Surfing in the Office Sector. Oh, there was another mechanic at play here that I should show. So if you want to make, like, let's say, a battery, and you click on the energy brick, you open up the blueprints for the energy brick. Which is very, very useful. So that you can, easily select the thing you want without too much effort. Alright, I don't know if there's enough time in the day for a second battery to charge before nightfall. But now we have 2 batteries, and the power level can be seen here on the right with the yellow. So we'll see if that charges all the way up. All right, let's invent new things. So standing lamp, metal maybe, desk phone and tape. No, not metal, pipe. No, knife. And that is a spear. And I'd like to make one of those. So let's pick up a desk phone and make a spear. So the spear does 10 damage. Or 13 total. Which is more than the desk leg can, which is going to be useful. Also, let's stop holding on to the peccary, or the carbuncle, because that's getting me irradiated for no reason. Alright, other recipes. Medium sign. And a pipe club. So pipe club does 8 damage. So how's this plugged in? Wall goes to battery 1 goes to battery 2, and battery 2 goes to the bench. If you weren't following along when I did that. Because I know I did it pretty quick. Now let's get another lamp. Here. Alright, anything else to craft? It probably wouldn't be bad to have a water bottle. So that when I'm at water coolers. Hello? I can take the water that's there without having to pick up the entire water cooler. And then the other thing I'd really like to have is the crossbow. So let's do the crossbow next. So I'm going to need bolts. And then I'm going to need the crossbow itself. And there goes power. So now we're running off battery power. For whatever reason, some things don't require to be plugged in, like dust lamps or TVs. So one of the reasons why I was running around collecting desk lamps is this is what the game looks like without me turning on the desk lamps. Right? You can see why I did that. Because these are like free sources of illumination, and this room is a lot more usable illuminated than it would be pitch black. I definitely need another like lamp over here. But now we're running off battery power, so you see the batteries are draining. Battery 1 drains to battery 2 drains to the bench. And we wouldn't be able to actually interact with the bench if we didn't have it plugged in. Alright, making the crossbow. So in this case, it might make sense to use the pretty broken desk leg to build the crossbow. And we need 3 rubber balls. I need 2 plastic somewhere. There it is. And a stapler. That sounds creepy. There's our crossbow. And then I'll just hit max and make the max amount of bolts. So we have a crossbow and bolts. This is another good opportunity to show that if you have things that don't fit on your hotbar. So if I, let's say, never want to drop my desk, I can right click and hit favorite, and it prevents the desk from being dropped. Or really specifically, it prevents the things in that inventory slot to be moved into auto storage. So in this case, like if I have a stapler in this and a stapler in here and I do sort of all type, it does not move this stapler inside. But if I move the stapler out, as you can see, it will. So it's a good way to like lock things in your inventory bar. So in this case, like if I only wanted to keep 20 crossbow bolts on me with reserves, I could do it like this, where it won't put my crossbow bolts away. But I'd rather have all my crossbow bolts available to me. So we've got a spear, a crossbow, nets, bandages. So I'm going to put my healing kind of at the end of the bar. I definitely want a knife on me so they can butcher up corpses. Knives are cheaper and more common than spears, so I don't want to use spears if I can help it. Where'd my knife go? Oh, my knife turned into the makeshift spear. Okay, so we need to grab one of the other chef's knives out of here. Because there it is. I consumed mine. The colors on the background here indicate weight. So if you take a look at like the pipes up here, wherever I put the pipes, see how it's slightly shaded and this isn't? They're the same item types, but the slightly shade means that it's heavier. So the indicator there is like your carry weight. So at a glance, you can see like what weighs a lot and what doesn't. So like the cushion armor chest plate weighs 6, so it has this slightly shaded color, or 51 paper scrap weighs a little bit, or 6 desk phones. So it's just a measure of how much it weighs. All right, let's take a nap. And you can wake up at any time, and jumping over those things like accelerate your resting. Oops. Man, I was really wore out. Alright, I'm just gonna wake up. So, 6 in the morning, we are quite hungry. So the current priority right now for me is to find food and build a bed. You guys decided that I choose the priority for myself, so that's what I've chosen. Food. So, in your inventory, you have a little bit of money. So, like, I have $8. And we can go up to the snacks machine and buy something with money. So, just so that I don't drop into the I'm starving to death, I'll grab a bag of chips and eat it. And then I'm going to be a little thirsty as a result. So, let's also head to the bathroom.
Attention. This sector is under precautionary security.
And drink from the sink.
Please remain in place and wait for security assistance.
Unfortunately, using the broken table leg, I did that on purpose to show that the HP of the things I use to craft the crossbow impart the durability of the crossbow. So now my crossbow is damaged, but I can right-click, repair with duct tape, and repair that up. Alright, so we wanted to get some food and build a bed. So let's pin the bed there. The quality of the bed that you're sleeping on indicates like how well rested you'll be. So I want to... Oh, that's a barricade. That's not a bed. Bed. We'll need to pack up a large couch. So let's head back up to where we were and look for large couches. Because I have the boards and I have the cloth for the bed, but not the other parts. down you go. And this is one of the first times where we didn't stomp it to death. And we got pest meat as a result. So, a bit of an advantage not to just stomp them. And then some of the bolts you can recover. And there's actually skills about bolt recovery. So, straight as an arrow at accuracy 8 reduces the chance that crossbow bolts and the like break on impact. The accuracy that I have right now sucks because I'm so bad at accuracy, but as you use it, you will level it up. Soil bag. So, poo and bioscrap makes a soil bag. Picked up a test tube, which unlocks the recipe for glow stick. So test tube and let's say bioscrap. Nice. Ethanol, or enethiol. Didn't unlock a new recipe. Tomato seeds. Hydrochloric acid, tech scrap. Checking all the cabinets. Of course, I'm not going to find a couch in this, so it's technically not really working on my priority here, but might as well take it. Ooh, there we go. So we found our first hose, and that unlocks gardening. A round and a square plot. And that also unlocked the trinket of a carbuncle balloon. Which, in your inventory here, you've got wristwatch, hacking device, headlamp, leg armor, and trinkets, as well as full body suit, like a radiation suit or beekeeper suit or something like that. These trinket slots, if I put a carbuncle balloon in there, it would reduce my carry weight. Which, you know, might be nice to craft if I got more carbuncle. Actually, I did mention I wanted a desk lamp. And, it's worth noting, like, this was the first hose I found. One might imagine hoses would be good to stockpile, because I have a lot of other... Ooh, lead vest. So a lead vest greatly reduces incoming radiation. It has an armor of 5. My makeshift chest piece has an armor of 4. So it has more armor, but it doesn't have the set bonus that the Employee of the Month bonus would impart. Also, I am way over my carry capacity, so in this case, what I could do is I can, like, move my desk to my hotbar to reduce some of its weight.
Dr. Derek Mance reporting, Research Director. We now believe IS-171, or the carbuncle, as Peters was calling it, is the larval form of IS-173, and almost certainly 178. Dr. Pendleton speculates there may also be a fourth state we have not yet encountered, and I believe she may be correct. If this is correct, it is an extraordinary shift in our understanding.
Alright, other things that are heavy. The soil bags, if I move them down here, will help to lower the weight. And the pests. And the water. So I am just about at my carry max. So let's head back and drop some of this stuff off.
I can feel my blood sugar falling.
Luckily, we have all of these cookables, the raw pest and the pest rump that we can cook, having decided to take out the pests with sharps rather than stomping. Because stomping them turns it into, like, mush. I want to keep my screwdriver. Let's deploy the lamp. I think it was particularly dark. Actually, where was it dark? It was dark in this corner, I think, last night. There we go. And let's get this pest meat. Oops. That's not what I meant to do. This pest meat cooking up. Okay, I already have closed the security shutters, so we'll have to go around. Ooh, sprinting. Can you harvest dead scientists? No, but you can harvest other humans. Without saying much more than that. The scientists that we find are to be left alone, but not all humans follow those same rules. Let's make some more boxes. I put my screwdriver away, didn't I? And that there is the sound of cooked meat. Now in this case, the freshness will decay over time, and we can try to find like a refrigerator to help deal with that. But if it fully decays, it's worthless. So if we had a repair bench, we'd be able to scrap it for bio matter, which would at least allow us to make use of it despite its decay. So trying to get an anvil from wherever they said the anvils were might be a worthwhile task to do at some point as well. Oh, yeah, I had another screwdriver. My bad. Once I have a few more storage crates, I will start actually organizing them in earnest if you guys just decide to vote for that. Cooking level 1. What's the plan for the desk? No plan. Desk is just helping me level up my strength. Now I do have a little bit of radiation buildup now. So as you can see, radiation tingle. Feeling a bit nauseous. So let's take some iodine pills. Help reduce that. And now, everything is, I mean, it's not organized, but at least it's stored. Ooh, strength level 2. Nice. Getting stronger. Thank you, desk. And funny enough, that carrying that desk made us strong enough that we're not gaining strength from carrying it around anymore. Can you name and label boxes? Yes, you can. Seems like I need to cook up all the meat I've gotten. Could you use the walk-in freezer for meat? No. Strangely enough, no. It doesn't work like that, unfortunately. I don't need 2 screwdrivers. We'll get rid of this one. And I'm going to carry... Actually, I don't need to carry the water anymore. But I do want to carry a little bit more weight so that I'm encumbered regularly. Alright, food's going back up. I do have the trait, of course, that I get hungry often. Yeah, so there it is. Apparently there are anvils in supply room on level 3. So I've only been up to level 2 so far, but if we wanted to build a repair bench, which requires anvils, it allows for the repairing and salvaging of items, and in that case, if we had meat that was about to spoil, we could salvage it into bioscrap. Alright, come on. Get that cooked. Sty, thank you for the resub. Hitting 2 years, too. Cheers. Okay, we're all set to go. Took me a little bit, but at least we recovered a lot of our food. So we're still looking for a couch to pack up. Some of the other things that we could do as we are out there, continue to hunt would be not a bad idea. But, let's just explore, rather than saddle us with any specific, things. But the evacuate sector via manufacturing is pinged on the map, so we know roughly where manufacturing is. With that said, it's often not wise to, like, beeline to the next objective, because you will skip a lot of very necessary things, and maybe not even get to where you need to go.
Life at Gate can be demanding, so it's important to remember that resting is key to staying in good health.
Bummer.
Simply taking a moment to sit down, even on the floor, will give you the energy boost you need to get through your day. While resting in any form helps to promote healing, lying down for a short nap is the optimal way to heal physical condition.
So we are here near the security checkpoint. The lift to level 3 is through this door here, which requires an energy brick. And this door is locked, so we can't get through there either. Oh, wow. I forgot to carry bandages on me. That's a bad idea. So now we know that the area to level 3 is locked behind an energy brick, but we do know how to make energy bricks, so there's that. I said bummer because the recipe to be able to make a makeshift bed was a multi-sectional couch, and we failed it at that. Glue is a resource I don't have a lot of, so I might as well just keep collecting glue until I feel like I have a decent amount. And then the doors here are locked and need a hacking device, which I don't know how to make. So we should be on the lookout for how to get hacking devices. So we are pretty close to the residences and the pool. Well, that looks fun. Playing an extreme version of Flora's Lava. Ah! And it doesn't feel good when you screw up. 9mm ammo. Okay. And a new resource. Ouch. Magazines. Magazines gives us the idea for makeshift arm wraps. And makeshift leg wraps, which is part of the Employee of the Month set. So the wraps require magazines and magazines. So we definitely should be on the lookout for magazines, as wrapping our body in magazines seems to be a way to protect ourselves. If you need to take... you need to take this one seriously. We received IS-0178 from A2, and it nearly killed us. It needs full crucis containment, and anyone interacting with it needs to be GISP rated impact shielding at the very least. So this is this guy. We know those. Contained specimens. Kathy, I'm glad to report we finally made some progress with 173, the little bouncing fella. We couldn't get near it at first. The thing wouldn't sit still, not to mention the spikes. Hey Isaiah, how did you manage it? I've been forced to work with dead specimens. Incidentally, autopsies suggest that they're the second stage in a life cycle of a metamorphic creature starting with 171. I'm beginning to wonder if it's possible that all the A2 specimens are connected? Very interesting theory. I mentioned the problem I was having to Varsha in manufacturing. She went away and rigged up some kind of trap that holds the little critters in place. We went to a barbecue in the dam, on the dam in the hydro plant last night. Those blue suits can party. They had great sausages. One of the hydrologists made them. Said they were actually really easy. Don't ask what's in them. And this is a new recipe for raw peccary sausages. Here. Made of peccary chops, bioscrap, and salt. So we should be on the lookout for salt if we want any of those.
Well, I knew this would happen. Ever since Varenkov's team took over Silo 3, you couldn't get a single power cell after that. Now look, they're precious antiverses, totally out of control.
Alright, to open Silo 3, we need to receive power cells. Got it. Well, I guess I could drop into the other room.
Dr. Mance reporting. IS-178, the peccary, as it was so ineptly dubbed by one of my puerile co-workers, is more intelligent than it first seemed. In fact, it grows smarter and more capable over the course of its life cycle, before morphing into the later life cycle phase. Dr. Manbanco even managed to teach it a few simple tricks, with only minor burns, I believe.
Inventory is basically full. Oh, look at this. This is a gaseous nest. Or a bounce ball, if you will. What am I getting rid of here? I'll get rid of oil for now. Pick up the nest. Because the nest is new, and we have found a bunch of oil so far. You like my hat? My little carbuncle crown? It's my crowning achievement.
Oh.
I am not sorry about that at all. It is almost 5 p.m. in-game. Let's go ahead and reduce some carry weight. There we go. And I'm basically full up, so we'll return back to base, having not received a sectional couch yet, but we can still be on the lookout for one. I mean, we're making progress, getting through the offices. Now I'm getting tired, but definitely not tired enough to have to turn back yet. Alright, looks good. We still have a few more hours of daylight, so let's try to get that couch before we have to go to sleep. So where might a couch be? Probably not in the cafeteria. So definitely somewhere on level 2. If we open up our journal, level 2. So we come up in reception. There's a security checkpoint to the left. Maybe the data farm? or pool area. We'll check that way. We haven't been that way. Sapient, thank you for the cheer. Is there a endurance skill where you get tired less often? No, but there's like coffee and stuff like that you could drink. Well, not that one. I don't think there was anything like that in these rooms. And that's locked. I'm gonna take the water cooler too. Okay, so this way is the data farm and tram station. This requires keypad class 2 clearance. I don't even have class 1. Ooh, we leveled up in reloading. And I think you saw me. Down you go. Ooh, peccary chops. Maybe we'll have peccary sausages tonight. Alright, I am over my carry weight, so perhaps for now I will leave the water behind and instead just take a sip. So probably not going to be a couch in the bathroom. Probably not going to have one in storage, although I'll listen to this.
This is Dr. Derek Mance. One of the most interesting aspects of the 173's life cycle is how rapidly it evolves. The high energy conditions of our universe compared to the torpid energetics of Antiverse 2 appear to accelerate their growth immensely. It's humbling, if not a little frightening, to watch life forms alter so quickly. The explosion of Antiverse flora in reactors was far from an isolated event. It goes to the very nature of life in that realm.
Decided to deal with it with the crossbow bolt because we are relatively hungry and building up a supply of meat seems like a good idea. But we are also in a cafeteria here. Oh, speaking of cafeteria. Oh, well, here's our couches. Not that I need any more, because we already got our sectional. But salt. And a refrigerator. With a tomato. I'm probably not going to be able to carry this for very long. So the thing what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop the office desk that I've been using for carry weight and carry the refrigerator on me. I know I'm beyond my carry weight max, so I'm not building up strength, but like having a refrigerator would be really nice. Also a cooking pot, not bad to have. More salt. And let's get back somewhere. This is the data farm. Let's get back somewhere familiar because soon the security bots are going to come out and murder people. So we're moving back to our base.
I thought I was there, but I'm still here, am I? I'm here, but she's there? I have seen death here.
She seems well put together. It's also worth noting, and I never really pointed this out, the crafting bench that we crafted is always visible, like through the map, so that you can find your way home pretty easily. If we want to make use of this refrigerator, just like we did with the crafting table, we are most likely going to need multiple batteries. So after we craft our bed, maybe that will be the next thing we do. So the reason why, if you're wondering, that I did not break down the couch that we started with is if in the case that I broke this couch that's here, I would not have a place to sleep. So the beds that you craft in this game act as respawn points. But when you die, you spawn here in this room. So there was really no point in breaking this couch down. But now if I lie down, bed set as respawn point above my head. So if I end up dying, you know, I spawn here. All right, current priority right now is to... Actually, you know what? I don't really need to worry about the refrigerator right now because we're about to lose power in the facility. So there's not going to be a way to charge up our batteries before we lose power anyway. But I'm going to put the refrigerator here, right where the stove is, so that we can store food where we cook. Now the stove itself does not it's like not electrical, even though it looks electrical, so you can cook at night on it. And this refrigerator shields 75% of the radiation, or 25% radiation shielding. So like it reduces the radiation for the meat that I put in there. So it offers some protection. Regardless of not being able to take advantage of the full effects of the refrigerator before nighttime, I am planning on making a plug strip and 2 batteries anyway. Just because I don't want to go to sleep right now, so might as well. So we need circuit boards, tech scrap, fans. Do items that you leave around despawn? Most don't, but it depends on decay. Because there is, you know, items do decay over time. Some items do decay over time. Oh, there goes power. So I'm going to put the power strip here and plug it into the wall, even though it will be dead until morning. And then...
Oh, I love coffee in my coffee hole.
I love coffee in my coffee hole too, dude. Then I'm going to put some batteries here. So in the morning, when we get power back, the refrigerator will be able to be powered overnight. Thank you for tuning in to Abiotic Factor, which originally streamed live as a marathon on Twitch. If you have any questions for me, let me know in the comments below, but please keep in mind I won't be answering anything that would be considered a spoiler. I am also not looking for feedback. This streamed one time only as a marathon. If you'd like to catch a live stream of mine, Rhadamant.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. If you would like to join my online gaming community on Discord, Rhadamant.com has a link to it, as does the description of this video. Thank you so very much for watching. Special thank you to my Twitch subscribers, Patreon patrons, and viewers like you that support the channel and made it all the way to the credits. Thank you so very much. I hope to catch you next episode or an upcoming stream. Farewell, my fellow scientists, security guards, and summer interns.